Hello everybody, this is Captain Frank Ermentrout. I'm going to cover some of the very basic functions of the s.Quad voice, which is the new pager that we're going to start using. The s.Quad voice gets clipped to your belt with that fancy belt clip right there. It has 4 buttons. This button up top is a OK acknowledge type button. These buttons here allow you to change the volume while it's clipped to your belt or while you're outside of the menu screen. And this acts as a menu and back button when you're in the menu screen. So if the pager has been on your belt for any amount of time, these pagers are programmed to lock the buttons out except for those volume buttons, so that you don't inadvertently make changes to your settings while you're wearing the pager on your belt. So if I were to hit a button here, the menu button, it's going to tell me key lock. Press scroll keys simultaneously. So I will press those simultaneously. If you notice, the little padlock on the top of the screen here disappeared. I'll go into my menu here by hitting the menu button. And the first thing that comes up is profiles. I can hit my OK button to select the profiles. We are standardizing the profiles for the department so that every pager, including the older style pager that we carry, will be programmed the exact same way so that they're more easily interchanged, and there's a lot less tracking that I have to do to make sure that people get the right pager with the right programming, regardless of what your function is at the department. So block me out. So we have monitor central 1, monitor west 2, monitor west 3, scan, and monitor central 1, west 2, west 3 like before. We have a Dallas Fire and EMS channel. This channel will tone for any unit that is associated with our department. So any medic unit, any fire apparatus, the support unit, and the chaplains and duty rigs will all get toned with that profile. The Dallas Fire profile will tone out just fire units, including Medic 103. Dallas EMS is just Medic 101, Medic 102, Medic 103, Duty 100, Support 108, and Chaplain 113 are just for those apparatus or units as they're designated. So just the support rig will get toned on Support 108, just the chaplain on Chaplain 113, and then the 2 different duty tones that we have for the duty officers. So I'm going to keep mine on Dallas Fire and EMS because I want to listen to everybody, and I'm going to select OK. That is your switch off button. If you do want to turn your pager off, you just hit the OK. It'll ask you to confirm, and it'll hit switch off. And I'll show that to you in a minute. You have your alert type. So loud is a loud alert. Quiet is still an audible alert, but it's a little bit quieter and not as jarring. Ascending starts with vibrations, then a quiet alert, and then a much louder alert. Discrete will vibrate for a specified amount of time before it starts making an audible alert for you. Silent is just that. It's just a vibrating alert. And monitor is keeps the channel open for the paging group that you're on. So if you're on Dallas Fire and EMS, we get paged out on Central 1, and you want to monitor Central 1 and get your tones, you can turn that monitor function on. So I'll leave mine on ascending because it gently alerts me to a call versus that very jarring sound, and I would suggest that you guys play with that. Volume is just that. Select your volume level. For the different functions where it escalates up to a volume, this acts as like your max volume, not your start. Message inbox. So this is one way to check the various pages you got. So you can see I have a little envelope. Some of these have been opened, some of these have not been. So I'll go down here where I started the tone test, pick one, There we go. Have to pick a message that actually has tones associated with it. But those messages trigger every time tones go off. So we had a huge tone test and it picked up all the different tones.
For Judy 100, Engine 101 and Medic 101, a Priority 1 crash, Southwest Washington Street.
And then you also have your settings. You can choose your different melodies. I'm really not going to go through them right now. So 100, 110 are different tones we have. Same with our medics. You can go ahead and play with those if you want. If the pager is assigned to you and you want to assign a different tone to different units, go for it. You should not be able, you cannot impact whether it tones you or not, because those are settings that have to be done by the vendor. Again, there's your volume. Eco mode just shuts your screen off after a certain amount of time. It does not impact the pager's ability to receive pages. So if you want to turn eco mode on to prolong your battery life, I would suggest that. Alarm clock, self-explanatory if you want to use your pager as an alarm clock. Date and time, it's already been set by our vendor, but if you want to change it a little bit, you're more than welcome to. Key lock, that's the key lock that we had that stopped us from pressing buttons at the very beginning where you had to hold the two scroll keys. Key click is the clicks whenever you hit the buttons. Backlight is just the backlight. Contrast for the screen, and then the battery should always be that ENE loop. That should never change. And then if you do decide to turn your pager off, all you have to do to turn it back on is hold that OK acknowledge type button. Turn on like that. You can give you a little vibration. So if you are in the screen and you want to manipulate the volume without going through your settings, you can hit those up-down buttons to make your volume louder and quieter. So again, this is a short overview. I will be sending out what those profile groups include, as well as the user manual for the s.Quad voice, so that you can take a little bit closer look as to some of the functions. If you do have any questions, please make sure that you come speak with me, because I'm sure I have an answer for you. Thanks. Bye.